Hey everyone, this is Nitro. So in this video, I'm going to be unlocking Landius' first awakening, and then I'll do Landius' second awakening after this. So let's begin. So the first awakening has you face off against Bozal, Gizarov, and then Rainforce. So none of the enemies should be that difficult to take down. What I'm gonna do though is, since you're alone, there's no reason to bring Tranquility or Resplendent Legends. In fact, you'd be better off bringing, let's say, Route to stun the enemy, and maybe counterattack, or move again. So I'm just gonna switch over to that, and begin. So I'm going to use the Route skill to stun the enemy Bozal to start. And then I'm actually going to, I want Route to refresh, so I'm actually going to retreat for now. There's no reason to kill him right away when I don't need to. So I'm just going to continue to retreat back, buy some time. Bozal keeps coming forward, so I'm going to run north at this point, because Route will be available next turn. So let's finish off Bozal now, and get ready to take on Gizarov. So Gizarov is going to use a random skill. He could have summoned, he could have done what he just did, which is an AoE attack. So, with the AoE attack, I'm going to charge forward and route Gizarov now to stun him. And I'm going to quickly just finish him off here. And retreat back. Construct dies, I heal back up. Oh, I don't heal up, I just kill him. That's fine. So next up is Rainforce, and I'm going to, once again, might as well buy some time for me to get access to my attack skill. Right? Sonic Blade has is a 6-line attack, which is actually quite annoying. So I'm going to actually run all the way back. If he can move 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potentially. So I'm just gonna stand here. Let him approach. And it looks like no matter what, I do have to tank a hit from Rainforce. So I'll just move up 1. To take the Sonic Blade attack. And then I'm going to once again route him. And then get into melee range to finish him off. To be fair, I'm not entirely sure I need the routes against Rainforce, but better safe than sorry. That's what I figured. So that's the first awakening. And the max cost is now increased to 6. So now let's do Landius' second awakening battle to unlock his 3C skill, Peace of Mind. Let's begin. So I don't imagine this unlock will be any more difficult than Juggler's unlock. So I'm gonna keep Landius with this usual skill set and just get started. And the thing I'm just checking is, okay, so Angelina has Tidal Surge, Listel has, what is it? Demonic Guard, Siphon, and Blood Dance, and Rachel has Holy Word, Dark Reaper, and Arcane Blast. Okay, pretty straightforward. So let's begin. So the character to avoid then is Angelina, who can move 5, then move 2, then launch Dragon's Breath. Right? So 5, then 1, 2 to the tile that Rachel is on. Dragon's Breath has, I believe, 2 range. Right? 2 range from self, so it would be like these 2 tiles are dangerous. So why don't I just move Landius down? So I'm just gonna shift everyone back a bit. And I just need to make sure I avoid Rachel. So this should be good. The only one in range of the Dragon's Breath then is just Rachel right now. And with just one character in range, she should not Dragon's Breath. Alright. So let's see. So the enemy Landius actually activated Tranquility, which is actually frustrating. But what I can do is I'm just going to Blood Dance all of these enemies to start. Right. Heal reversal and 6 damage them all. Why don't I Tranquility up my Landius? And I'm going to toss out more AoEs. So let's hit them with Arcane Blast. And then hit them with Dragon's Breath if I can figure out how to hit them. If possible though, I want Rachel to actually AoE me in return, because that should force them to take damage from healing. So we'll see. So I'm just gonna Dragon's Breath these 2. Let's see how this works out. Right. Oh, so Rachel Holy Worded and died. My Landius tanked another hit, then got stunned. And all the enemies are actually targeting my Rachel. But they couldn't even kill her. So I'll take it and just siphon down the last character. And there we go. Yeah, pretty easy. Alright, so with regards to Landius, there is not much to say about his 3C other than use it most of the time, because I'm gonna close this. Landius' 3C, of course the passive is take all damage for friendly units you are next to and you can't be displaced. Alright. Command is all friendly units within 2 blocks have 15% less range damage and have 30% less chance of being critically hit, and healing effects on them are increased by 15%. So this command effect is should always be active, right? Slightly different from Tranquility's command effect, right? Which does similar things, but it also does not have that increased heal effect. So that's a new addition to Peace of Mind. And the active effect is, of course, guard range increased to 2 blocks, command range increased to 3 blocks, which just like, once again, Tranquility. But the additional effect here is that, first, all enemies units within 2 block range cannot benefit from move again effects. And secondly, this skill, Peace of Mind, lasts 3 turns. Okay. Tranquility only lasts 2 turns. So Peace of Mind is a 3-turn use skill that also lasts 3 turns, which is pretty nice. You know. Slightly different from Tranquility, the 2-turn versus 3-turn, but the move again effect is also very, very useful. For example, if Leonhard comes close, he can't act again, right? Or he shouldn't be able to act again, because this active skill should prevent it. So there we go. Now, I should highlight a weakness of Landius's 3C though. And that is actually linked to the peace of mind effect of cannot be displaced. Okay? Because Landius cannot be displaced, but other characters can still be displaced, it may allow the enemy to potentially knock characters out of Landius's guard range to be killed. And this is actually best done as an example with Angelina's 3C. Okay? Because Angelina's 3C as an example is that I don't have it unlocked and I won't have it unlocked for some time, but what it does is it attacks all enemies in 3 straight lines, dealing 0.2 times AoE damage and pushing them back 3 blocks. Okay? And if this skill hits 3 or more enemies, you can take an additional action, and this act again effect can only trigger once per round. Right? The reason it can only trigger once per round in this case is of course because theoretically, if you bring clocks on Angelina, if she was able to refresh this skill, she could endlessly launch this 3C skill, which she's not necessarily allowed to. I mean, theoretically, I think if she uses this skill and clock's activated, she should be able to launch this skill a second time in a row. Just an interesting note. But that way, even if she launches a second time, she can't act again twice in a row, is what that prevents. In any case though, the fact that this skill can lock back enemies in 3 straight lines, 3 blocks, while Landius is immune to knockback, can separate the enemy forces and allow them to be easily killed, as the following example will show. Alright, so in this example, Angelina charges forward, activates the tidal surge to move up, and launches out her 3C that hits 4 enemies. So with this, the knockback effect knocks back 2 of the characters, Luna and Tierras. But because Landius is immune to knockback, Mystery Knight and Landius both stay where they are, right? But with the knockback, it's enough for Angelina to act again and attack Luna and then one-shot her, killing her off. So this is a great example of Landius's 3C being a drawback in this situation, because the knockback effect separated the enemy so that Angelina could actually kill off a target in a suicide strike. You know? Yes, on one hand it's a suicide strike, but on the other hand you're breaking the enemy formation and you're forcing a trade of characters, which can be a very, very big advantage, right? Especially if you're taking out a character that the enemy really want to keep alive, such as Zerda or assassins like Ye and so on. You know, it can well be worth trading a damage dealer for a damage dealer. So basically, in certain situations, you may not want to use Peace of Mind on Landius, right? It might be better to just bring the standard Tranquility skill instead of Peace of Mind. So this kind of choice selection is a strategic selection where you have to decide which guard skill Landius brings depending on the enemies you face, right? If they have multiple characters who can AoE knockback, then you might actually want to bring Tranquility instead. And that's everything I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful to you. And on that note, Nitro out.